Welcome to Race 5 of Season 11 in ISRA's Grand Touring Championship, brought to you by the Z1 SimWheel LCD display software. You can head to z1simwheel.com, get the software that will add these dashboards and telemetry displays to your sim rig. You can also find the LCD box that works with that software, as well as a fine selection of custom-made wheels, all at z1simwheel.com. Well, we come into Race 5 here with the standings not including the drop week, so things are going to change up at the end. But we've got Mike Kelly leading, followed by Lauren Bateman, then Ryan Huff, John Kuzland, Alex Blau, Tim Stahl in 6th, and then Wyatt Foster, David Scott, and Kevin Savoy. And in GT3, we've got James Cullen leading, currently showing 74 points, but again, drop week's going to change that, although I think it'll keep him where he is, because 74 points means he's dropping one race. Daniel Galti showing with 56 points, Daniel Verness and Anthony Muniz. Colin McLean rounding at the top 5. Colin McLean is actually tied there with Brian Carey at the moment. Then we got Daniel Quaroni, Corey Davis, Jeremy Burris, Jerry Morrisdorf, Len Snyder, Victor Beltran, and Robin Ainsko. Right now, we're going to see what things look like with the drop week at the end. So, this, as I said, is Race 5 at Sonoma. I'm Daniel Quaroni, and with me here are Brian Carey.
Hello again, everyone.
And Anthony Muniz.
Hello.
Ryan, take us around this cup configuration of this map.
Well, basically here at Affinium, there's a number of different configurations. We're running the NASCAR track, which basically cuts out turns 4, 5, and 6, and replaces it with 4A and a chute. I don't know anything that makes that sound scarier than I just said it, but basically it'll just cut across the track there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a shorter configuration than we're used to here at Infineon, or Sonoma, or Cirrus Point, where the hell we are, I don't know. It's in California somewhere is all I know. Anyways, point is, it should be a good race.
Todd Carver will start on the pole for Corvettes with Lauren Bateman alongside of him. Mike Kelly and Alex Blau on the second row, Daniel Buck and Ryan Huff on the third. David Scott, Marty Jeffries on the fourth row with John Kuzlan and Timothy Stoll on the fifth and the top 10.
And don't you hate it? I gave you enough time and we went over a little bit. Corey Davis takes the pole in GT3, so 110.6. Anthony Muniz right next to him, though. Brian Carey and Leandro Schmidt on the second row. Daniel Quaroni and Brent Briles on the third. Daniel Verness and Daniel Gralti on the fourth. And Jeremy Burris and Victor Beltran on the fifth row. Now, this is from practice here. There was a little bit of trouble with the Kaiser Rennsport team. We see here Brian Carey from the blue view. He's just coming through the S's configuration. As you can see, he goes and touches the dirt, spins off into the wall. Teammate Daniel Quaroni follows right after. So, and now we're going to watch it again on board here with Brian Carey. As you see, he makes the left-hand turn.
Prepare to crap your pants, people, because exactly. This is scary.
Oh, big hit. And then, you know, the radio, you okay? No! Oh, that had
Now, folks, if you want to go on YouTube there, if you want to freeze frame that just as Dan's about to hit, he actually frames his kayak logo right perfectly in the windshield the millisecond before I burst into flames. So, yeah. I'm actually dead right now, so...
Yeah, that was from practice Sunday night. The crew very unhappy and very busy working on getting both cars back in working condition here for the race, which is just about to begin as the Corvettes start to get rowdy, and we are going to go green in just a moment. The left-hander here, and the start finish is right after there. We are green. We are racing.
That was a very difficult uphill left-hand corner into a kind of off-camber right-hander here, so let's hopefully get all through here as they go into turn 2, the off-camber part of it. Looking all right, everyone kind of taking their time through that. Well, except for Touch Handle, something they got loose. And Jeremy Burris in the 4GT mixing it up a little bit with Dan Gralti here. It's one of those tracks, the 4GTs without very long straightaway should be able to battle a little harder than usual.
And GT3 field already single file. They started just before the turn 11 hairpin, so there was a lot of time for them to get settled out. So we see, who's that? Fabrizio, Batistella?
That sounds
Hopefully I get that name correct. Newcomer here, I think he's another Brazilian to join the ISRA. He is running about the back of the field in GT3. Yep, there it is, currently 16th. Jumping up to the Corvettes now.
Sorry, but I was just going to say, a necessary Fabrizio fact is the only Fabrizio I remember now is from our honeymoon, a rather large, hairy Italian man with not enough of a bathing suit. So if you hear me crying while we're talking about Fabrizio, that's why.
Well, you can tell he's a very wise man because he's joined the ISRA, and if you haven't, What's stopping you? Come on, you race. You're in iRacing. Head over to ISRAleague.com and join us, and you can be part of this almost three-wide battle down the front straight.
Oh no, and it's begun. That is not one of the services we offer here at ISRA. At least not during office hours.
And that was Dimas Milana getting kind of squirrely there up ahead of John Kuzlin.
No, that's Dimas Milana actually right there, getting by on the inside, taking 11th place away from Kuzlin.
Blake Brown, it looks like, up at 10.
Yes, indeed.
Nice camera shot here under the hood of Alex Ball. Trying to go around the outside of Mike Kelly. Actually, I'm not sure he's trying to go around the outside, but just before his car ended up there under braking. But Mike able to get on the power a little bit earlier and power down the straightaway, which is not straight in the least. Yeah, there's very few places on this track where you're going really in a straight line. Between 10 and 11, there's a little bit heading down the hairpin there. And then 3A to 4A and 4A down the chute is kind of straight. Oh,
so for those of you not familiar with the map, that right hand that they just drove by is what we're skipping on this cup configuration.
And they're heading it down to 7 right now. So go straight from 4A to 7, which is where... Well, no, this is 4A here. The Chuck Chambliss here, going down the... This is a chute, heading down the inside of the number 71 there, Blake Brown, and this is 7. And 7A is a little kinkier, so... Now 8, 8A, they just throw an A on. I don't know if they just got bored. I really don't understand some of those things there. They were distinct corners, but they decided to throw an A in some of them, and some of them not so much. But anyways, we have a battle.
And Dimas Milana.
Dimas Milana, yeah.
And he gets that done as long as he can get the power back. Tim Stoltz going to be able to try and fight his way back through, but Milana's got the inside going through this not straight into turn 1. He's going to hold on to the position as he defends the inside, taking towards turn 1.
Yeah, because of that braking there, going through turn 1 is pretty quick. You're off the gas a little bit there, but you're kind of coasting up the hill into turn 2, and just it's really hard to kind of maintain your line side by side because the car is moving and turning and you're braking and you're just putting a lot of inputs into the car at all times, and it's really hard to pull up alongside someone there and keep the car straight.
Yeah, in order to execute a pass that you really have to have already had it pretty much done.
Yeah, I think turn 11 and maybe turn 11 and I'd say turn 4A, maybe turn 7A are the one places you can make real good passes without having someone make a huge mistake, and that said, that's still extremely difficult. Turn 11 here as they're going through right now, you can see the tires there is probably the best place to do an out-braking maneuver.
And it looks there like Daniel Buck had a little bit of trouble.
And Lauren Bateman got by, so that's up into second place for Lauren.
See Daniel Grotti looking to make a move on Daniel Verness, and boy, I mean, that looked too easy. I thought the Ford GT was supposed to be better into braking.
Maybe. It looks like that Daniel Verness probably just lost a little bit. Oh no, there's Karl Mumbauer and Doljan Boldrin able to avoid a spinning Mumbauer, and that looks like, don't know who just went back, maybe it was Arthur.
Hermont, another new comer to ISRA.
Oh no.
Well, Fabrizio, I think he's still... No, he got by Arthur as well there.
How are we saying? Battistella?
That's how I said it. Or tried to say it anyways.
Hey, there I am.
It's Brian Carey in a nicely fixed up car.
Yeah.
No sign of the damage there.
And that bit of smoke and massive slide off to the right. Yeah, it was. We couldn't see it on screen, unfortunately, but I had a massive, almost spin and huge save that's nearly destroyed my car. Luckily, I was built a bit of a gap between myself and Brian, so I only lost one spot there. But that was pretty hairy on board with me. Too bad we didn't see that. Meanwhile, though, Arthur Hermot, great run there on Battistella. That's the for the 13th position.
Tim Stahl losing place.
Losing a spot there to Chuck Chambers, looks like.
Well, there's
And
Chuck going by
Kuzlin as
just
well
there.
got by.
Yeah, Kuzlin was the first to go by. And the white and blue car, and then Chuck in the black and white car going by. And yellow.
Ooh, and Marty Jeffries overshooting his braking going into the turn 11 hairpin. You can see Dimas Maulana sneaks his way through. Marty Jeffries had to get off the accelerator there to not run into the back of Maulana, as he had better exit coming out of the hairpin. But nevertheless, Maulana takes the spot away.
And here you can see just how hairy it is for these cars. Oh, Daniel Buck went a little bit too wide and lost under acceleration. Fortunately, it looks like he was able to save the car, but lost the spot to Mike Kelly.
Yeah, just as you're putting that 4A, or no, 3A there, just coming out of 3A, the track kind of drops away from you, and you're still trying to feed the power in. So it makes the rear tires really light, and that will happen a lot, folks, with all these cars.
Well, we're watching Daniel Buck now, so obviously he recovered okay. Could have gone much worse for him, has for me in the past.
To refer you back to our practice video.
Well, I mean at that spot in particular. I remember a race show in the LMP where I think on lap 2 I hit the wall.
Oh, and Alex Bilbao very
Late on
deep
the
into the
brakes.
final corner.
Probably just got a little unsighted behind the other Corvette there. Might have missed his braking point just slightly, and luckily not running into the back of Mr. Buck there. There's our ISRA World Challenge champion, Doljan Boldrin there. He's down in 12th position right now, battling with Aaron Heyer. So as Dan was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, if those want to join, go ISRAleague.com. We have lots of options for road racers and oval racers alike, but road racing, the premier series here is the Grand Touring Championship, obviously. Then we have the World Challenge, which will run a little less frequently, but shorter races, kind of more touring car based, if you will. And then the Lotus.
Well, now
49.
we're starting up a Lotus 49 race, or series for Sunday mornings.
Yep.
So if the evenings don't work for you, Sunday mornings, I believe the races start at 8 a.m. Eastern. That's the morning for all of you. And then we also have 2 different oval series. We've got a truck series and a stock car base series.
Is one of those a fixed setup series?
Yeah, I think the trucks are.
Yeah, I'll have to get more involved in it there, but I mean, there's lots of different options there. And the Lotus 49, very excited for that car to come out. A lot of us. Oh, look at this. That is Fabrizio Battistella and Carl Mumbauer, and then someone else just went by. I didn't see who that was because I was trying to pronounce Fabrizio's last name. But yeah, I know a lot of sim racing people here really started the online sim racing. I know my first online sim racing experience was in Grand Prix Legends. I wasn't a big Lotus 49 fan of that in particular, just because I like some other cars more. Oh no, Fabrizio's off. What if he's damaged?
Didn't see him hit anything on camera. I think he may have just missed the corner and decided to take the escape route, as it were. Oh, but he's sticking off the track. Maybe he is damaged.
Yeah. Like I was saying, just the Lotus 49 is kind of nostalgic back to those early Grand Prix Legends days. I think Sim came out in 1998, but it did still form the basis for the physics engine here for iRacing. I mean, highly modified, obviously, by that point, but still a basis. And kind of get back to your sim racing roots, if you will, for some of us older members. Anthony, on the other hand, having been born sometimes.
I was born 7 years. I was 7 years old when that game came out, so I was not playing it. So that probably made quite a few of you feel pretty old.
Yep, kind of barfed a little bit there, but that's cool.
Should also just point out for any people that are interested in the I think they're actually calling it the Grand Prix Legends series at ISRA. That is run on an irregular schedule. It's not every week like the GTC is, or the Power Series or what have you. So if you are interested, check the schedule. I know that they don't run whenever there's a real F1 race, and there might be a couple other times, so keep an eye on the schedule for that.
Yeah, that's the idea, is to do it at a time where, 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning seems weird, but for us hardcore race fans, that's kind of time we have blocked off typically to watch the F1 race. So to do it on the off weeks there, it doesn't really mess up your racing schedule with the misses, if you will. And actually, one thing about saying that with the misses or whatever, we don't happen to have any right now in ISRA, at least not that I'm aware of in maybe in the ovals, but men, women, children. I know some of our drivers I would consider children, but that's another point altogether. But everyone's welcome here, and in fact, it's a great forum for just good old-fashioned racing fans.
And newfangled racing fans too.
Yes, we do like our newfangled things. Here's Dolgen Boulder trying to make a move on Victor Beltran there. And it looks like he's got to the inside. Beltran's not giving up that easily. Has a little higher run on the outside, but looks like, maybe not. I guess it looks like Boulder had it, but the next few corners are to the left. So Beltran's going to have the...
No!
And that's...
I was going to compliment them on doing the hairpin so nice and tidily, and then that.
Yeah, that'll happen, folks. Nothing really bad either one of them did. It's just... That's hard to do in real life, and in the sim, running side by side like that in this sort of situation is even harder. And unfortunately, they didn't pull it off.
Looks like it was Victor, I think, who hit the wall there.
No, Victor actually saved his car.
Dolgen was on the outside, so
yeah,
Dolgen must have hit the wall.
Now, Demas here is one of the front runners here in the Corvette. Started a little further back than you'd expect of him, so he's going to have to make some more passes here. And David Scott's a pretty tough customer here, so it's not going to be that easy for him. Oh, and that's Arthur Hermont. I thought that was Dolgen for a second, but no, it's another slightly different gray colored car.
Oh, and I thought he was going to lose a position there, but gets it back away from Ford GT of Daniel Verness, I think that was. And now back with Maulana, who is all over the back of David Scott's Corvette. It looks like Maulana does have the speed over him, but because there are limited passing opportunities here at Sonoma, or I think that's the official name, right? It's not Infineon, it's Sonoma?
Yes, Sonoma.
Okay, so yeah, Sonoma. It does make it hard to pass. Ooh, as Ryan Huff gets squirrely going through 4, and he's going to try his best to defend his position from Daniel Buck. Manages to do so, and kind of uses the Ford GT there to help kind of block off Buck's passing area, and manages to just hold on to that 4th place position.
Actually, I found out recently, I didn't realize that Infineon was actually a company of some sort, because I was visiting New Jersey this past week and came across a office for Infineon. The logo kind of caught my eye there. So I think Sonoma is just more the name of the region there, Sears Point. I don't know if that was something else altogether, another sponsor, but Sonoma, I believe, is actually the town in California where this resides. Does that sound right, guys?
Yes, it sounds pretty good to me.
All right.
For talking out of your butt, I'd say it's pretty accurate.
Yes. I like to have a relatively high rate of accuracy while talking out of my butt, but as many of you have noticed over the course of these broadcasts, holy, look at that. There's Demas Milana right up in the gearbox there of David Scott. And not quite, well, wait, maybe we're getting close to christening Demas with the doctor title again.
Is he close to his 2nd doctorate?
Yeah, The second one's in Earth Sciences, though, so it's not really as not really as impressive.
Yeah, like I said, he definitely has the speed over Scott. There's just, he's not close enough at the correct position. So you can see he fell back just a little bit there as he made his way through turn 10. So he was a little bit too far back to try and make a pass attempt when they made the braking into the turn 11 hairpin. And he'll be stuck behind him for at least another half a lap until they get towards turns 4 and then 7. Meanwhile, Lauren Bateman's taken that second place away and managed to hold on to that very well, despite some tough pressure from Mike Kelly, who is about 0.2 of a second behind him.
Oh, there's Dimas getting a little squirrely there coming off 3A. That's another one hard to put the power down. Coming out of 4A there down the chute is actually a lot of grip coming down there and able to kind of really roll the car through and carry a lot of speed to try to make a pass, but not able to do so right now. But maybe you can use this slower car of Daniel Verness as an opportunity to get a run on David Scott here. There's 9A. Here we come up to 10. This is going to be the critical corner for Milana. Oh, and it looks like David Scott has got picked rather badly, so look at this. He might be able to do it. 3 wide going down into the hairpin here. Daniel Verness is going to hold on for dear life because he's got Corvettes, and lots of them. And the Rubik's Cube car there of Daniel Buck, falling behind Ryan Huff, I believe. That's a battle for 4th right now.
Now back with Maulana, you can see that he had the run on Scott as they made their way through traffic. Ooh, and nearly plows into the back of the gearbox of Scott as they made their way through turn 3A. But
that's Russell Gordon's car that they almost ran into there.
Yep, just he was David Scott got to the inside as they made their way down towards that hairpin, defended that inside line, so nowhere for Maulana to make a move.
Here's turn 10 again, this time on board. Oh, David Scott got a little squirrely there, and Milana getting a run this time instead of dropping back, but he's not close enough. I guess the Corvettes do have a little bit of aero wash coming off those things, so it's kind of hard going through turn 8. It's probably the most, you'll notice that the most, getting right up behind another car. You don't have as much grip going through there. Yeah, this is one of those McLarens and the 4 GTs. Sometimes it's just, you want to make your car disappear when these guys are coming around, but you have to keep the car in the track. There's really not a lot of good places to let someone by without losing a ton of time.
And they've got Aaron Heyer just in front that they are now getting by as he goes very, very wide using all of the runoff there at turn. Oh, with the contact between. And David Scott stays in front and defends off that dive from Dimas Maulana through 7A.
Looks a little bit of a shoulder there.
Yeah, a little aggressive racing. However, able to do it in such a way that contact should be slight and there shouldn't be any damage there, but looks like Marty Jeffries is taking advantage of this little battle here to throw his hat in the ring there, and looks like Milana will have it now going down to the hairpin. Ooh, runs a little wide, pushes Scott wide, and Scott loses 2 positions, unfortunately, going down the hairpin. So that was maybe he's going to get something back on Marty Jeffries here. And he does. Well, good commit there from David Scott to keep his foot down going down that kink and hold on to the position. Now, is it just the paint, or does Dimas have a bent rear wing?
I will have to look again. I think it's the paint, but I'll take another look once we go back to him, which I'm sure we will. Here is a battle for 10th position. The gray car is Arthur Hermont. He's in that number 81, and just in front, Victor Beltran. He's in the top 10 right now. Oh no, this isn't the battle. This is a different one. This is the fight for second position in GT1. Lauren Bateman currently holding that, but again, he's got Mike Kelly all over his back bumper right now, and he's had him that way for the last 5 laps or so. So Lauren Bateman doing a good job holding on to that second place position despite the pressure.
These guys are teammates here, actually, Alex Blau and Daniel Buck, I think. Or maybe they're just...
No, they're not.
They're Brazilians, so they're all teammates. Wait, is Alex... Yeah, he's Brazilian.
Yeah, he is. Yep. We're on board with Daniel Coroni now. He's following, or he's heading in
Hopefully you
fifth
don't
position.
run into anyone right now, Daniel, because that would be unfortunate.
Why would I do that?
Whoa, that's a big tank slapper.
Unfortunately, I did do that.
Yes.
That was a mighty save, though. Just barely kept it off the tire wall there on the right side.
Yeah, luckily in iRacing, the tires don't 100% perform like the tires, and Dan might have got away with that, but had that been real life, you clip that rubber tires there, and it will suck you in, and that'll be the end of your race. So, that was very good there. Lost position, but oh, wait, he's fighting back, though. Fighting back.
I don't think he actually, well, from the replay, it didn't look like he actually touched the tires there. Just
No. Just saying in real life, the margin of error is much thinner there than it was in that case, but still pretty damn thin. And Mike Kelly is just really sticking with Lauren Bateman here. Nothing too aggressive there, but really trying to keep the pressure up on Bateman for second place, as Todd Carver's only about 2 seconds up the road from them, so they're battling pretty hard. Actually, the top 6 in Corvettes are separated by only 6 seconds right now.
And they are just making their way through the upper half of the GT3 class at the moment. So look for maybe that to even close up a bit further. We might see a 3-way battle for the lead, never know. And we are following a couple new guys, I believe. Well, Blake Brown, he is new, but he's been in a few races before. He is fighting with Jonathan Taylor-Tommy, I believe, or Tammy? John Taylor-Tammy? And he's in that number 97 Corvette we're following along with right now. He's got Blake Brown of 3 wide briefly over
Those
across
cars
the
are
timing
inverse of
line.
each other.
They are actually slightly different shades of yellow. But Taylor Tammy stays up in front of Blake Brown for the 11th position. Or is it John Taylor with a surname of Tammy? I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah. We'll get John Taylor, or whatever he wants to be called, to maybe post that on the forums, and we'll get that right for the next race. But yeah, we're still back in the Corvette battle, and it's a hell of a battle, folks. I'd like to point out, Anthony and I have been basically nose to tail this entire time, but the director doesn't.
Apparently, we're not important enough. I was just thinking at about the same time you said that. We've been about half a second or less apart for basically since I spun, or almost spun. But here's actually a pretty good battle here. 3 Corvettes making their way through. What is that? That is Daniel Gralti. So this is 5th position in GT3, being led there by Ryan Huff. Daniel Buck holding on to that spot. 5th place position in front of Alex Palau. Also Daniel Coroni there just behind Daniel Gralti as he tries to recover from that near crash there going through turn 10. See, Ryan Huff was much better through traffic there, able to separate himself by, roughly a second or so, a little bit over a second from Daniel Buck as they made their way through those 2 GT cars, so that gives him a little bit of breathing space. But David Scott right now doesn't have all that much breathing space in front of Marty Jeffries. Jeffries briefly took the position away, but he David Scott did a great job making his way across the timing line and then into turn 1 to take the position back. And here's a fight for 5th position. Guys, these guys lost Ryan Huff as they made their way through traffic, but Alex Palau all over the gearbox of Daniel Buck. So, of course, as soon as I say that, he loses a little bit of time, but nevertheless, it's still a good fight.
Oh, maybe not. Oh, they recovered. Lauren Bateman, it looks like. Yeah, maybe he did go off and Kelly caught up with him here.
Yeah, because the gap now between Todd Carver and Bateman is now about 5 seconds, and that was about 1.3 a lap or two ago, so he definitely lost quite a bit of time. Daniel Buck, oh, so close there. I think he actually made contact with a GT car on the outside.
Well, there's a GT car up there just ahead. I think that might be, is that Leandro, perhaps?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he got into the tires on the outside there, so... Hey, guess what?
We finally get to see ourselves.
And for quite some
Teammates,
time,
Brian and Anthony here. Yeah, they're Brian running in second at the moment, just ahead of Anthony. And a shot of Anthony's car there. And being teammates, they're probably not going to do anything too crazy to each other.
Yeah, but we can do stupid stuff on ourselves and by ourselves, and if the other person's in the vicinity, then I mean, it's always, it's always possible.
That is always an option, yeah.
I don't think the thought ever goes, I'm going to dive bomb this guy and see what happens or whatever, but occasionally you'll miss a breaking point. It's like, oh crap, I'm dive bombing. And the Todd Carver show is rolling up behind us, it looks like.
So this is a 70-minute race, right? It's taking him about... Is it a 70-minute race?
I think so, yeah.
We could have paid attention to this start.
Yeah, probably should have. So, but it's taken Todd Carver...
Professionalism, whatever.
Yeah. 25 minutes roughly or so to get through most of the GT3 traffic.
I'm getting a few... No, you know what? I think I remember saying an hour 15 on the clock when we started. Yeah,
okay.
I suppose I could just double check while we're watching this battle here.
This is a tricky part here for the Corvettes. You can see Todd Carver hanging back just a little bit because the Corvettes will eventually get the speed to get alongside McLaren's, but that makes things very, very tricky to make their way through turn 10. See, Todd Carver even very late on the brakes there, getting on the inside of Brian Carey inadvertently. I think he was just a little late on the brakes. Almost opened up a spot for me to drive up on the inside, but then Carver was slow getting on the throttle again, so I had to brake to avoid hitting him. That was close there, but you can see it really closed the gap between myself and Brian.
Yeah, if you had to try to steal that there, I might have turfed you, but luckily everything worked out. Yes, no, 75 minutes, hour 15 for this race. So. And that is a dirty-ass windshield.
That's what happens when you follow right behind someone for the majority of your stint.
Yeah, I can't remember what race it was, but actually maybe it was Okayama where I was following behind Anthony for quite some time.
Probably
and,
was.
Just kept kicking dirt up, going off the track just a little bit here and there, but sure was making my car dirty. And Anthony pays the guys to wash the car, so whatever, I guess. Also, some of you are aware from my discussion in the server and/or forums, but I burned the hell out of my shoulders. Oh, that was off. That was Daniel Buck, it looked like. Yep,
yeah, it was indeed.
Past Daniel Buck.
Yep, lost it going into turn number 2. And that drops him down only one spot so far to Alex Palau.
Anyways, yeah, no, my shoulders are peeling like crazy right now, so I feel like a reptile shedding its skin.
Sunblock. Learn it, love it.
I had it, just,
Reapply it.
yeah, there's that, and I'm at a water park with my son, gotta go, oh, look at this, Anthony's gonna take a huge run going down the inside here. We caught up behind the Corvette, and I think that's the place. Honestly, don't remember a lot of this, because it was a little while ago, but...
Yep, and that is the spot. That was totally opportunistic move there because who was that went off? Was that Marty Jeffries possibly that had gone off, or was that Ryan Huff?
Yeah,
Ryan Huff, okay. Yeah, Ryan Huff had gone off, and coming back on the track slowed Brian down, and I had full speed going through turn 11, so just kept shooting towards the right side of the track to take the inside away, and that was it.
Back down in 12th, we got Arthur Hermont in the Red Bull Racing car, followed by Aaron Heyer. Is that right?
No, Aaron Heyer's in the Red Bull.
Arthur Hermont, sorry, is the gray one. So there we go.
Hey, there's Corey Davis, the race leader, and Kaiser Rennsport teammate who's actually leading this race by quite some distance.
Yeah, Corey leading the race in a dominant fashion right now. Of course, no, I don't remember why he wasn't here, but no James Cullen. Looks like, I think, with the, 17 and a half seconds or so between himself and me in second place, he might have been right up there with Cullen, were he here.
Yeah, but also you're behind me too, so it's possible that it's just because I sucked for a period of time and you weren't able to pass.
I guess that is also a possibility.
I find personally, because I come from a line of mostly doing the F1, the prototypes like the HPD, cars where you really be aggressive with the car, sliding into the, well, not sliding into the corners, but brake late, accelerate early, going from one to the other, whereas these GT cars, I'm still learning, it's a lot of letting the car rotate into the corner, getting it done early, accelerating out as early as possible, letting the car, the power take care of things, and I don't quite have the hang of these GT cars just yet. Some places are better than others. I don't think this was a particularly good place.
And some take. Oh, that was a huge hit into the tires there from Lauren Bateman. I don't know if there was contact between himself and Mike Kelly. That was, wow.
Yeah, that tire, normally that tire would move in real life. That should not be that solid. Oh, that was, look at Verness and that guy. Who was that?
David Scott.
That's who it was. All right, going side by side through that corner, that was pretty good. But yeah, no, iRacing has just introduced the latest build, the ability to knock over cones. So maybe at some point in the future there'll be the ability to knock over tires too, which might have saved Lauren some race-ending damage there.
Yep, he would still have some, because I'm sure those tires are quite heavy, but it wouldn't have destroyed his car like it did.
Yeah, it wouldn't have locked him into place.
Yeah.
And basically what happened is the rules in ISRA is you can't exit out of your car by hitting escape and then rejoin. You have to be able to drive it back to the pits under your own power, and I think Lauren was literally just stuck, and he could not move, so that's race over for Lauren.
And here's Victor Beltran. He's moved himself up one more position into 9th place since we last was following where he is at in the race. You can see he's caught up to Lance Snyder now, and he's fighting for 8th. Who is Marty Jeffries is looking to make an opportunistic move on David Scott. Doesn't quite able to get the power down to make the move there, but Scott going wide into the hairpin opened up an opportunity, but Jeffries just couldn't get the power down.
And we'll just take a count, folks, later in the race, but I think opportunistic will be the most syllables said by any one of the commentators this race. In one word.
Onomatopoeia.
Doppelkupplungsgetriebe. Or I said that wrong. Damn it.
Oh.
Well, that was more. That would be more if I said it correctly.
Something about speaking in German that just makes people angry. Actually, one of my friends from work, if you said, and she's married and with a hyphenated last name, but even if you take away the hyphenation, her first name and her last name, if you say it together, would be 9 syllables. It's Dutch.
Okay, yeah, that sort of explains it. And back with Victor Beltran and Lance Snyder as they fight it out for P8 and GT3. You can see actually Corey Davis just in front, so he's put a lap on these drivers already. And I actually don't think he's made a pit stop yet, so that's just how quick he is driving around right now. Oh, and back with Daniel Quaroni. He is, where is he? Oh, down in 12th, so he has made a pit stop. And he is just in front or behind Arthur Hermont. Oh, that was close.
Beltran, just great cars, and Victor Beltran just seem to want to come together at this point. So Beltran, you know what? Let them by him. He's about had enough of the great cars at this point. And actually, I meant to ask Daniel here as we come on board with him going past Aaron Higher. Did you just pit early, or were you involved in any shenanigans, if you will?
No, that was early pitting.
It's actually just about halfway, not quite there, so...
Nope, we just passed halfway about 25 seconds ago.
There were some shenanigans just now, but you missed them, unfortunately. I'm
Or
pleased.
fortunately for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, how many syllables is shenanigans?
It's 4.
Oh, that's nothing. Seemed like more for some reason.
Well, opportunistic is 4. Oh no, never mind, it's 5. Apparently I can't count.
I'm literally counting it with my fingers as I'm speaking, kind of like because that's how I learned it, and that's the only time I did it was ever in school, and really, it's just what you do. There's Arthur running down the Tommy Toehold show car of Lance Snyder up there, and now he's running in 7th position due to some pit stops. Alright, what's happening?
I do not know. Lots of things.
Look like we just either we cycled through one camera or several cameras for one car, or one camera for several cars. But anyways, you just saw Brian Huff get past looks like Jeremy Burris there.
He is fighting with Marty Jeffries, who is... Was that him? No, that was not him. I'm confused. You are, yep. 0.8 of a second back or so.
Yeah, honestly, don't remember. I just remember getting... well, no, I'll leave that explanation for later. But there's one thing I remember about this race, but it's kind of an after-race sort of thing. Can't let anyone get away with any free information now, can we? Hello, Anthony's in the pits. Anthony is taking a pit stop there.
Yep, and then it's just after a lap or two after halfway, which is pretty much on par for the course for this track, just because I want to avoid the incident that happened back at Okayama.
And also, they've changed the way the tire behaves slightly in this most recent build, which is we're doing this recording on the Wednesday, and they released the update yesterday. So we'll see how that affects the longer runs. We haven't had a chance to do a really long run yet. Anthony, our next race, as it stands right now, would be Interlagos, as we've already done a few since this race here. But see if there's any difference in those long runs, how you set up the car, that sort of thing. But really overheating the tires here can cause these cars to slip and slide, and no idea what that sweet spot is for a race setup, so we'll hopefully figure that out.
Things are looking a bit promising for the I think it was a bug fix they did for the tires where it was returning to the contact point was returning to 0 too quickly or something super technical like that. You can look it up in the release notes. I'm pretty sure that they have the full description there, but it does seem to be helping a little bit with the twitchiness, as I'm sure these guys are looking to avoid any sort of twitchiness as they make their way through this difficult turn 2 and then down into 3. But Arthur Hermont doing a good job sticking to the back of Lance Snyder, but I guess I should say Snyder's doing a good job holding on to that 7th position, as I think that was because they've moved up 1 because of a pit stop, must have been from Mr. Q, so he's a little bit out of position at the moment.
Okay, Anthony, now this is a battle for position at the moment, but Brent is not pitted yet, but Anthony able to take the position with fresher tires quite easily, actually.
Yeah, see, just ran a little bit wide there. If you overshoot your braking, that leaves an opportunity there. We've seen quite a few guys run wide, but then able to hold on to that position because they were able to get the power down a little bit sooner than the guy on the inside, but it looked like the fresher tires, or I guess probably more the real reason is because Brent is on older tires. He just couldn't get the power down quite as quickly. And Arthur Hermont pushing that engine all the way up to the red line during his downshifts up into turn number 2.
Alright,
I still think got a messed up way there.
That is correct. It doesn't seem to be slowing him down. I remember Interlock was last year, Colin McLean driving at speed for a little while there without a rear wing.
No, it wasn't quite at speed. He did have some issues with the car.
Well, he did end up crashing.
That little bit there probably not doing too much, although it may be a sign that there is a bit of slight suspension damage underneath. Ooh, as Dimas Maulana takes a nice dive up on the inside of John Taylor Tammy and moves himself up into 6th position.
Alright, so yeah, we got Carl Lumbauer there. We got almost half an hour left, and pit stops are starting to settle out.
And Brian Carey going to lead a lap in GT3 as Corey Davis makes a pit stop.
Yay!
Unless you pit next lap and don't actually lead a lap.
I think that's probably exactly what's going to happen.
Taking a look at Carl Mumbauer's car, he's in 12th position. I think he might be a bit out of place at the moment because of pit stops. Guess we'll have to see how that plays out. You can see here's Daniel Qualroni. He's getting passed by a couple. Ooh, close call there between himself and Ryan Huff. I don't think he was quite expecting a second Corvette to make his way there through the hairpin.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I knew one was coming. I didn't realize the second was coming, and maybe you see it.
Yeah, I think what tends to happen there is because the original Corvette that is making their way through and the McLaren braking a little bit earlier, or their cornering speed is a little bit slower because they're going side by side, which allows the car that's just a few car lengths back to make up that rest of the distance. And oh well, the inside is open for me. I'm going to make the move on the inside to get by, and just so happens that not every McLaren is always expecting that move to happen. So luckily there's no major contact or anything between those two guys, and no damage as we ride on board now with Ryan Huff as he has David Scott just in front of him.
And there I am into the pits.
So, no lap lead for Brian. Actually, Daniel Gralty may get one. Here he is right now. Let's see if he makes a dive into the pits, as Corey Davis will try and make a pass on the inside. Davis not going to make the... oh, and there's a Ford GT in front of the way. So Corey Davis is, because of that, means that Daniel Gralty actually will get to lead a lap after all, as Corey Davis has to back out of the pass attempt on him. Close call there for the race leader, or soon to be race leader.
I wonder how that worked out as far as the fuel there, because if normally I try to run a full tank at the beginning of the stint there, and if Dan's able to go a lap longer like that, that's pretty impressive.
Well, we didn't run our tanks empty at this point.
Why didn't I lead a lap? Whatever.
Because you pitted early. You had fuel left. I know you did.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if because normally I'd like to take the point for leading a lap. I would think. I'm guessing. Maybe I led that lap where he was in the pits. Possibly. Because maybe the pits are behind the line. There's a number of things that are running through my head right now. None of them make sense. And reached that point of the broadcast where I go a little bit spacey right now. So I'm going to just watch this and see if Corey's able to make the pass stick this time. And it looks like he will. Yes, he is.
And Daniel Gralty still not making his pit stop, so he's going to, looks like he's going to empty that tank all the way out before he makes that dive into pit lane.
And Ryan Huff just coming back to the field here. Ryan's had a couple good races recently. This one's pretty good. He's really moving up to the front of this Corvette field here. As I say that, he loses it. So I'm going to stop talking about Ryan.
He's actually making his way back to where he was after what I would guess would be pit stops, because he was running up in P4, I believe, in the opening stint. So he's had a solid race here. And I do not believe that David Scott or Alex Blau have made pit stops yet, so they're kind of artificially out of place at the moment. Then we go on board with Carl Mumbauer making his way through turns 3A down to 4A. Has Victor Beltran just in front of him, holding on to that 11th position. Both these guys taking care of their pit stops and all of that, so they should be set for the final 26 minutes. Also see John Kuzlin just sort of lurking behind this battle here between Scott and Huff. Haven't seen a whole lot of John Kuzlin this race. I don't think we have actually seen him at all this race, but there he is. He's just kind of lurking in the shadows, waiting for one of these guys to maybe make a bit of a mistake. Oh, and Ryan Huff had to scrub off a bit of a run he had there, as David Scott was kind of out of position for the turn number 10. You can see he's taking a defensive line going through turn 11 hairpin, so can't quite get on the power. So definitely Ryan Huff has the speed over David Scott. Just needs to get the opportunity to stick his car up on the inside. Ooh, and there's some GT3 traffic coming out. That's Gralty there in the Red Bull McLaren. And both these guys just able to sneak through as they make their way exiting turn 2.
Good shot about how hairy that pit exit here is at Sonoma. Haven't seen it yet, but it's one thing coming up the hill here. I was talking about how hard it was to go side by side. It's extremely hard to come out there when someone's coming out of the pits. I think easier for the guy coming out of the pits, a lot more difficult for those coming up on someone coming out of the pits.
Yeah, there's really basically no service road or anything that you drive on to feed yourself back into the racing line. It's quite abrupt. I mean, Spa, depending on the pit configuration you're running, the endurance pits has that very long, twisty bit that spits you out at the top of Air Rouge. Gives you a lot of time for drivers to see the cars exiting the pits. Here, it's basically you get off your pit speed limiter there at the end where the cones are, and you're back out on the racing line, or just about the racing line.
Ryan Huff has been showing really well this season. The Corvette's really agreeing with him, I think.
Yeah, I believe he's won a race so far this... Hopefully that's happened. Oh god, if it hasn't, spoiler alert,
Super,
if it has.
No, that was in the LMP. Like, he was the only one to beat Wyatt last year in the LMP.
Oh, okay.
He has not won a race this year in the Corvette.
But he's been right up there challenging for the podium position, so he has had a strong race. He's currently in 4th position right now. I think that is going to be inheriting 3rd position once David Scott makes a pit stop. I don't think he has yet. If he has, he's done very good strategy and got himself up into 3rd place because he was a bit... Oh, and Ryan Huff is going to force the issue on the inside, going into the hairpin. Bit of contact between the two, but he's going to be able to get the power down. I think he's got that 3rd position away from Scott. Yes, he does. He closes the door on the inside. They're going over the timing line.
That was a close one, but... looks like they're able to get through. David Scott's been part of a few little minor fender benders there, but a little paint scraping won't hurt anyone.
Like I said, I don't think David Scott has made his pit stop yet. So if I'm correct in thinking that, I'm sure that Ryan Huff is a little bit frustrated that he's stuck behind a guy that he's not actually racing, if that is the case. Meanwhile, Todd Carver, who the top guys in Corvette were keeping within close range, has managed to stretch for close to 40 seconds over P2 and GT1, currently being held by Mike Kelly. So somehow he's managed to pull a massive lead over everyone else.
And Carl Mumbar having a good race there as well.
Oh,
jeez,
wow.
Oh no. Hold on. Oh, no.
Ooh, that was close.
Mike Kelly, that was Arthur Hermont there having a little bit of a spin. And, oh no, what?
Oh,
no.
Wow.
Oh, no, that wasn't.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. I was just about to say how good Carl's race was. He hasn't spun yet. And then that happened. I know that was totally not. That was a, yeah. I'm not gonna say there, Arthur, obviously, that was not good.
And everyone has recovered. You can see quick Carl's up and already up on the road. Oh no, that's him right there. So he has picked up rear suspension damage to his car. That is going to be the end of Mumbauer's race after having a fairly strong position. Got himself all the way up to 11th place, I believe. And so that's the end of his race. Victor Beltran is continuing on, I believe. But not sure if he picked up any damage from that. Yeah, that was an unfortunate collection there from quite a few cars. And take a look at Jeremy Burris. We saw him a little bit at the top of the broadcast. He has Daniel Quaroni. What is he? 5 seconds.
Oh, Gralty's off.
Gralty's off, and that is the top exit of 3A, heading down towards 4A. And he has some damage. You can see the car is crabbing like crazy. He pulls off into the full configuration section that we aren't using. That is probably going to be race over for Gralty.
I will return quickly here. I realize I'm a little lightheaded, so I'm going to grab some cheese. You know how much I like cheese, and that should help me finish the race, so I'll be right back.
Oh, and Hermont gonna lose the car. He almost saved it, but he definitely was losing it the second drift he was making there through the S's, so that's going to be... not sure if that's going to cause him to go flying into a tire barrier, but he's losing more time. Oh, Todd Carver did not make his pit stop yet. That's why he was so far in front. I just saw him exit the pits on our timing up there. And he is now down in 4th place. So trying a late stop strategy there for Todd Carver didn't work out for him. He's in 4th place, 3 seconds back from Dimas Maulana.
Did anyone else explode while I was gone?
Well, we lost Hermont again in the S's. I think he's actually still running, though. And Todd Carver had yet to pit. That's why he had gained up such a big lead over everyone else. But he's pitted in now, down to B4.
Seems like a lot of time lost for him because I thought he had the lead before everything started happening.
Yeah, he did. And back with Jeremy Burris, he's got, well, it's the GT3 leader just behind him, looking to put a lap on him, but also just in front is Daniel Quaroni. That's who Burris is fighting with. Quaroni is about 1.5 seconds in front. See, Corey's going to take a little peek to the inside, try and get past. See if he can get the power down. Oh yeah, he'll get the power down. Not sure if he's going to be able to finish that off, though. We'll have to see. On board with Todd Carver now. He's back in 4th place. He's pulled up about 1 second or so on Dimas Maulana. You can see his Corvette up in the distance there going through the S's. See what he can do. There's only 17 minutes left in the race, so I don't think he's going to be looking at the win anymore unless there's mistakes at the top of the field, but he is still going to be fighting for a podium. Ryan Huff, meanwhile, is up to 2nd place. I know we had just talked about how good a season he is having. Yeah, he's having a great season. He's got himself up to P2, and he's about 8.5 seconds off of the class leader, Mike Kelly. So he's having a very strong race.
Jeremy Burris is doing not too badly for the 4GT, running at 6.
Oh,
Jesus. I guess that's what we were showing him because he's going to do something like that. But in 6th place, ahead of his teammate Daniel Verness.
well, he's got Quaroni just in front. He's not just in front anymore. He's moved up to about 2 seconds, but that was turning into a battle. You can see him up there getting ready to head into turn 3. About 2 seconds in separating them right now, but that was down to about 1 second before that. So there is a bit of a battle there. And just about 16 minutes left in the race. Can see him maybe move up into a top 5 spot. Have to see how that turns out. Ooh, and he might be have a chance to move up into the top 5 sooner than I expected. Quaroni losing a lot of time there as a Corvette made his way through. Who is that? David Scott, I believe. So now Jeremy Burris right on the back of Quaroni, making their way through turn 10. No way he's close enough to make a pass attempt there, but now he's within 1 second. He's going to be feeling a little bit of the draft. Of course, also a little bit of the aero washout that these cars get. I'm not sure if the Ford gets aero wash as badly as the McLaren does. I'm not as familiar with that car, but Jeremy Burris now in striking distance to Daniel Quaroni.
We'll see what he's able to do because the Ford still doesn't have the straight line speed here, but I think we've seen more than anything it comes down to mistakes either with traffic, wheel off, or whatnot, just putting the other driver under pressure. So let's see if Burris can, not that Daniel's known to crack under pressure, definitely not, but actually I don't know if we've ever seen on our broadcast this season a close battle with Daniel involved. So it's good to see his car up there. Almost forgot what number you were, too.
Just to kind of update you on other close battles around the circuit. In GT3, Brian and myself are separated by roughly 3 seconds or so. That's for 2nd and 3rd place. And then in GT1, Ryan Huff and Dimas Maulana separated again by roughly 3 seconds. Todd Carver in 4th place, separated by, again, roughly 3 seconds to Maulana. So, and David Scott and Marty Jeffries sort of close, about 5 seconds separating those two drivers. Those are about the extent of the close battles, except for what we are seeing on screen, of course. So a lot of the fighting that we saw earlier on in the race settled down a little bit now. 13 minutes left. These guys are going to be pushing as hard as their cars they can, and I guess maybe as hard as their tires will allow for these final 13 minutes.
Burris is just flying through turn 10 there. That is some good speed he's carrying through there, and good under braking. But yeah, no, I think with 4GT they say it's better under braking, but honestly I don't think it's that much.
No, I'm not. The initial test race that we had, it seemed like it really was, but I guess maybe the McLarens have kind of got the setup under them more than they did at. Or was that we had Laguna Seca. I know I was really struggling with my setup there for whatever reason, but once we got into the season, I think a lot of the McLaren teams and drivers kind of found a better balance. As I say that, though, Jeremy Burr is going to take a look on the inside of Coroni. Doesn't feel like he's quite close enough as they make their way through 4A. And Coroni holds onto that spot.
Yeah, he didn't look like he had the confidence on the brake there, because he looked, if the Ford was better at braking, he looked like he was far enough to make a shot there, but getting this deep into the race, maybe not wanting to risk a finish right now.
And we've got Chuck Chambliss coming up quick behind these two guys. And he'll definitely be on the inside of Burris, making their way into turn 11, and slows down. But you can see Coroni kind of, I think maybe thinking of the previous little bit of contact he had with Huff going through that corner, sticks a little bit wide. It doesn't really cost him much of anything. Burris, I think, lost more than that going through the turn 11 hairpin, but looks like they come out fairly the same. So still a very close battle.
Yeah, I knew that was going to cost Burris because he was definitely going to get by him, so I thought I'd give him some room just in case he made that move.
Oh, and Burris misses a mistake into 3A rather. That's pretty heavy into the tires. You can see he's got the car going again, but I believe that will be some suspension damage.
That will not be pointed straight. And if it is, it's because it's spun all the way around. Yeah, it does not look like his, there's no way he's done there. He can even slowly turn the car back to the right.
And yeah, he's still on track, but he is dropping down. So I think he may try and get that to the pits and make any required repairs to try and finish up the final 10 minutes. And Dimas Maulana, who was closing on Ryan Huff to try and take away that second spot of the podium, overshoots his braking there going into the turn 11 hairpin. Loses actually quite a bit of time on Huff as they make their way towards turn 1. And just under 10 minutes now, so Ryan Huff doesn't have to hold on too much longer. And he's had a really strong race so far. See if he can hold on to that second place position. Mike Kelly, meanwhile, has been holding on to a steady 8.5-second lead over Ryan Huff the last 10 minutes. So don't look for really any change to come there as long as Kelly keeps his car pointed straight and on the tarmac. I think the final battle we'll see in the Corvettes is what we are seeing on screen. Everybody else looks pretty comfortable in their gaps at the moment.
Yes, indeed. And so you remember how far back Demas was in the beginning of the race? Well, he's 10 seconds from the lead and only a second and a half behind second place Ryan Huff. And yeah, that's just the logo on top of the car.
Just about to point that out.
It's curved, but the wing isn't.
Actually, it's a little bit. You can see there on the front. I guess that would be the front of the wing. The front lower part of the wing. Curves up a little bit.
Indeed.
And it just sounded like Brian had turned to eating his microphone for sustenance to avoid himself from passing out. So the cheese wasn't enough, apparently.
Yeah, no. So I'm going to be kind of quiet for the rest of this thing here while I take a break, but, well, I mean, I'll talk, obviously, but...
and Kerry loses it coming out of 4A, and
that was well before.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
All right, well, recovering at 4A then, and Schmidt makes his way through onto the last step of the podium now.
I was actually coming out of 3A, and then I tried to turn down the regular track because I lost my bearings, and then cut across there, and then that's where I ended up.
Ah, I see. So very large mistake.
I didn't realize there was only 7 minutes left. There's my tire marks there. That makes me want to barf again. I was not at all happy when I did that.
Well, Demas Maulana, meanwhile, has managed to close back up to Ryan Huff, just about 0.5 of a second separating these two drivers here. Just under 7 minutes left, so not a whole lot of time left for Maulana, but as Brian pointed out, he came from basically the back of the GT1 field, had pretty poor qualifying performance, but he's managed to get his way all the way up to third place. You can see he's right in the back of the, a lot of oversteer exiting turn 11, but he's all over the gearbox of Ryan Huff. And it's going to be a pretty tough defensive job that Huff has to do these final 6 minutes to hold on to that second place position. The track is working in his favor. It's not the widest circuit that we run on, and the way that the corners work doesn't give a whole lot of opportunities. That said, Maulana is putting a lot of pressure and trying to see if he can't get a little slight mistake there from Ryan Huff. And Maulana's got a great run coming off of 4A. He's going to take a peek to the inside. Huff shuts the door going into 7A and maintains that second place position.
That was close driving there. Good by both those guys.
And that is the kind of driving that I feel Ryan Huff is going to have to do. He gets held up and going to go around the outside of Beltran there, going through turn 10. And let's see if, nope, I thought Maulana may have gotten a better run coming out. You can see he's close. He's going to try and make a very late braking maneuver on Huff going into 11, but that's not going to work out for him the way he's going to get the power down to get alongside. 5 minutes left, or just over 5 minutes left, and that should equal out to roughly 5 laps, depending on when Mike Kelly crosses the line. Probably 4.
This is waking me up a little bit, I'll tell you.
Also, Brian Carey just under a second behind Schmidt, trying to take back that podium position, so keep you updated on that. But meanwhile, Maulana putting so much pressure on Huff. This time Huff not having to be quite as defensive, but he takes his braking late going into 7A. That gives Maulana a chance to try and take a look around the outside. No room as Huff shuts the door there as they make their way through the S's. Again, good defensive driving, not giving the car position to Maulana to try and make a move up on the inside. But you can definitely tell that Maulana has the speed. He just needs to find the right opportunity to use it. Had a chance there exiting 7A, but the S's make it tough. Maulana great under braking, trying to take it a little bit deeper than Ryan Huff, but again, he's on the outside and he can't get the power down. You can see that the gap opens up just a little bit between Huff and Maulana as they make their way over the timing line. 4 minutes left to go.
This is going to be pretty crazy here. Todd Carver is about 3.5 seconds back of this battle here, so if these guys keep battling like this, he might be able to catch up with the next, it's just probably about 3 laps left in this race, but for now, I mean, it doesn't look like there's...
Oh, and a mistake there from Ryan Huff as they make their way out of 3A. It's going to lose him the position as Maulana gets the better exit.
That's not over yet, but that's an unfortunate mistake for Ryan Huff. That wasn't... anything Maulana really did to pressure him, particularly there, because he wasn't really in position. It was just Ryan got a little bit off, had to get off the gas to keep the thing pointed straight, and there he is.
And Huff, I feel, needs to get the spot back now if he wants to have a chance to finish in second place, because Maulana definitely has the speed, because he's already opened up about half a second gap between himself and Ryan Huff. To make their way down, and actually that gap is opening up even more, so I think Maulana is going to be able to drive away with this one. Oh, jump to Kerry now as he's looking to Schmidt, try and make up that final podium position. Looks like they've got, I believe that's Brent Browse in the Ford, or not the Ford, the McLaren, just up in front. He goes very wide to let these two battling drivers through, since they are putting the lap on him. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the race. That's going to equal out to probably 3 laps for these two guys, or maybe this lap and 2 more.
My car's bent pretty good.
Yeah. Some fairly significant damage on the back of Kerry's car there. I'm actually surprised that it seems to be handling so well.
Personal rage is what's powering this car at this point.
And you can see he really closes the gap there. What are they down to now? 0.4 of a second as they get ready to cross the timing line. Ryan Huff is keeping it somewhat close with Dimas Maulana, 0.8 of a second back there, separating those two drivers. Bit of offline there for Schmidt as they made their way through turn 1 and into turn 2. And he was able to save it, but it was probably a bit of a close call for him. Going back with Ryan Huff and Maulana. Maulana going very wide there into the turn 11 hairpin. Huff closes the gap just a little bit, down to 0.4 of a second. And they are down to 1 minute and 40 seconds left. That's going to equal 2 laps more for these drivers. And Huff doing a nice job of really closing the gap to Maulana. I actually expected Maulana to drive away from Huff, but he's done a nice job sticking right with them. Not very much time to actually make a pass on Maulana. You saw how difficult it was for Dimas to get by. Actually needed a mistake there from Huff to help that, or to make that happen. Go back to Brian Carey. He's still just a couple car lengths back now. Great underbraking into the hairpin. Closes the gap back up. And we'll jump away to see Chuck Chambliss and David Scott. These guys are fighting for 7th. There must be a pass made here because yeah, looks like it might, well, maybe not. Thought Chambliss was going to get a better run out, but there's the white flag is out, so these guys are on their final lap now. Kerry, meanwhile, 0.2 of a second back from Schmidt, and Todd Carver and Ryan Huff separated by half a second, or Carver to Huff, half a second, Huff to Maulana, 0.8 of a second. There it is. Now Huff is actually going to be there on their final lap. He's going to have to be defensive to hold on to the last spot of the podium. And he gets squirrely coming out of 3A. On the inside, though, for 4A and holds on to the position, but he goes very wide. Todd Carver gets a great run coming out of the corner. He's going to be on the inside, the last of the late breakers. Huff looks like he was able to hold on as we switch away to Chambliss and David Scott. I'm guessing that means that, Ryan Huff was able to hold on, and David Scott letting Chambliss by there for an unknown reason, maybe a miscalculation on fuel.
Yep. Let's go back. Come on. There we go.
Here's Todd Carver. This looks like into the S's. I believe that is 8 and... No, that was turn 10. Coming down to the final turn 11 hairpin. Huff on the inside defensive as Mike Kelly takes the overall victory for GT1. And, out of fuel, nearly takes out Todd Carver. Wow, that was so close there as Ryan Huff just barely holds on to the last podium position over Todd Carver.
Now, folks, I was entertained. Corey Davis taking the win for the GT3, so good win for him there, taking advantage of James Cullen not being there, and then Lance Snyder finishing. That's good to see. Lance finished the race. Always finishes races there. Now we're just going to be showing guys finishing races now, so and just cut back and forth. So that was a good one for Corey Davis. It looks like Muniz will come home in second. There he goes, right there. Leandro Schmidt and myself still battling, but looks like Leandro's probably got that.
Oh.
With some
Daniel
flair.
Baroni finishing with some flair. Also providing a little bit more man-hour repair time for our crew after they already fixed his car. I think that was also Brian Carey providing more man-hours for our crew.
Yes.
All right, we'll see the standings now with the dropped week incorporated. So Mike Kelly is currently leading with that big win, giving him 25 very nice points. Todd Carver's just 2 points down from him, though, so a very close battle there. Ryan Huff, Warren Bateman very close in third and fourth, and a bit of a jump to John Cruiser in fifth. James Cullen, as mentioned, drop week included, so he started this with 75 points with the drop week not included, and now comes out with 75 points with it included. Anthony Muniz, 11 points down, so he's in second. Great job, Anthony. Daniel Ralty, third, 18 points down. Brian Carey, fourth, 20 points down. Then Brian Vaness, fifth.
All right, well, that was personally a frustrating end to a race of being, inch perfect. Be able to hold on to Anthony there. Honestly, I was driving like crazy to be able to hold that on, and to blow it with 7 minutes left was a little bit more than disappointing. And I believe I actually smashed my headphones. Not on purpose, because they actually got caught on something, but yeah, that was a rage break.
All right, well, so we're a bit back. Oh, whoops, I said this was race 5. I was wrong. It's race 4. Sorry, guys. Race 5 is at Road America, then race 6 at Motegi, and then race 7 at Barber. And once we get all this out of the way, we'll be caught up. Interlagos is the next race on the schedule that we have not yet done. 2 hours there. It's going to be a great race. I hope I can make it. We'll see. But, yeah, should be a good time.
Is he getting the flag from the flag stand? What's he doing?
Looks like he might be. All right, well, thank you to Anthony Muniz and Brian Carey for that standing commentary, and thank you for watching, to the admins and racers of ISRA League for making it possible, and for Z1 Simwheel for their sponsorship. We hope you'll join us again next time. Have a good night.